A lot of your shapes, look, I was just looking at some of your prints out there, and a lot of your shapes are very, very fluid, very juicy. I think of the paint as
Yeah.
looking very juicy. And,
Yeah.
and so, are you trying to replicate that effect in your tattooing at all? I mean, some of the approach to tattooing to painting, they don't translate very literally.
I'd like to say I am.
Yeah.
I'm trying. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I think I'm still figuring it out. You
Yeah.
know. But I am conscious of it. I'm trying to do that. And those are like kind of these weird off the cuff. They're like the quote unquote like happy mistakes that kind of come out of designing sometimes,
Yeah.
and then allowing yourself to kind of come out of just kind of go off the cuff a little bit.
Yeah.
And so some of that fluid effects that I'm adding to a lot of my paintings, or a lot of it just on the fly. I'm not really sure where this is going to go. I'm just going to start kind of moving with it, because there's always at some point in a painting, you really want to start to get loose and start letting things kind of happen on their own that will maybe just add to like the overall composition at the end, the final painting. So I would love to be able to kind of introduce that into my tattoos more. But I think rendering it and learning how to render it properly, it's a big thing in tattooing, is like simplification, and that's it's like reducing things. I think I thought when I first started tattooing that realism was like the end all. The mark of a good tattooist was how real you could get something. And then the more you start tattooing, the more you realize like, no, it's like, what is that tattoo going to look like in 10 years? You know what I mean? What is this going to really look like? And you start designing, and it's really hard. I'm finding like one of my hardest the things that I'm struggling so hard right now is leaving enough skin tone, in a tattoo, in simplifying things and trying to get the point across. I love when I see pieces and they just leave all these. It's almost like that thirds rule, where they're like leaving all the skin tone in their pieces, and I'm like, why can't I, just stop, slow down and just, think about that, as part of the, part of the composition.
Absolutely, and I know people who watch the show. I've said this 100 times before, but I've my front torso was done by Jeff Ensminger, and he's a master of that. He knows how to use skin, when to use skin, and he completely changed my world watching this piece evolve. And I don't tattoo at all like Jeff Ensminger. I have a much more painterly style, and he has a very graphic, very bold style. But I realized instantly watching him build it, I was like, oh, I don't leave enough skin in my tattoos. Like I have a bad habit of like blending. If I'm looking for a flesh tone, I'll almost blend like pack in a flesh